Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for joining me. Today I have a class for you that's going to be all about opening up that upper body, so the shoulders, the chest. If you do have blocks or props like it, you can go ahead and grab those. They can always be handy as well. You can even use a wall in some poses. So we will get started here in child's pose. The knees can be wide or together, and just allowing the upper body to lay over the legs, elongating the arms ahead of you, shoulder width distance apart, allowing the shoulders to relax away from the ears, and those hips come down towards the heels. On your next inhale, you're going to bring your hands together, and you're going to draw your hands into a prayer position and bring them towards the nape of your neck. Here you're just stretching out the chest a little bit more intensely. If your hands don't quite touch your neck, that's totally okay. If you maybe want to think of elongating further, you can always maybe work on lengthening out your spine by walking your elbows a little bit further ahead. Just breathing here. Trying to settle into the pose. Maybe exploring this new arm variation here in child's pose. Really tuning into your ujjayi breathing. Deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Really trying to tune into that breath, especially if these poses are maybe bringing some discomfort with the stretch. And as you exhale, you can gently release your hands down to the floor. And on your next inhale, you're going to come up onto your hands and knees, coming into a nice tabletop. Gently coming into a chaturanga shape. Keep your knees down as you lower all the way down onto your belly. Activating into the spine here as you really press down through the feet, activating those quads, lifting the knees, and inhaling up into a cobra. You want to think of being weightless within the hands, really only using the muscles of your spine. Releasing down as you exhale, and then on your next inhale, again coming up into that cobra shape. Releasing down as you exhale, and again one more time, inhaling up into a cobra shape, really trying to be weightless and in control. And as you exhale, you can release down. On your next inhale, we'll come into a Sphinx pose here. So your hands are going to be out in a 11 shape. Hands are going to be in line with your elbows, relaxing your shoulders down and away from your ears, being strong through the lower body here. Trying to grow, lengthen that spine, lengthening the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Pressing through the entire forearm, that entire palm. And we're going to come into a really nice stretch. I always like to call it crisscross stretch. So you're going to bring your left hand towards your right elbow, and your right elbow will then in turn be by your left elbow. From there, you're just going to work on walking your hands away from your body. So you do want to make sure that you're not putting a ton of weight on to your arms. So making sure that you're above your chest here, and making sure that you're even within the weight distribution of your arms as well. If you notice that maybe you're leaning to one side more, try to even that out by making sure the weight is evenly distributed, and really just trying to actively walk your hands away from one another as you're relaxing your head down. You can always feel free to grab a block here and prop your head up on the block. Really just trying to relax into this posture here, really trying to release the backs of the shoulders, the deltoids. The lower body can be really nice and passive. And on your next inhale, you can gently release that, taking your time here. Coming back into that Sphinx pose shape before we hop onto the other side. So just doing the opposite direction again and working into that same crisscrossing shape with the arms. checking in, making sure that weight is evenly distributed between the arms, between the shoulders. You're actively walking your hands away from one another, and you want to make sure that there's not a ton of weight on the arms itself. You don't want to have any discomfort here within the body. Just a really nice stretch. Trying to get into that same ease of comfort as you did on the other side here, guiding the pose with your breath. Breathing into where you're feeling it deepest. Tuning into that area and trying to relax with every exhale. Keeping that a theme within the class. Every exhaling, allowing the body to settle. And from there, you're going to gently ease yourself out of that position. And you can slowly rock yourself back into a nice child's pose position, just allowing the arms to outstretch in front of you. And then from there, if you would like, you can hop right into down dog. Take your time though if you need a child's pose here. If you are taking down dog, just walking out from the legs. Really feeling that within the shoulders, trying to find that length throughout your spine, feeling that within your hamstrings. Bring movement in if that is most organic to you in your practice. If you aren't in down dog, you can join us here. Breathing still. And on your next inhalation, you're going to curl up into a plank pose. As you exhale, come all the way onto your belly. On your next inhale, coming up into a cobra. And then as you exhale, shift yourself back into a downward facing dog. Finding that nice position throughout the body. As you inhale, ripple forward once again into your plank. As you exhale, lower down into your chaturanga. As you inhale, find your back bend, maybe going deeper. And then as you exhale, nice and slowly come into a downward facing dog. We're taking our time here, really trying to use our breath, use our movement. As you inhale, curl forward into your plank, using that exhalation to lower down all the way through to chaturanga. As you inhale, find your back bend of choice, up dog or cobra. And then as you exhale, lifting those hips high into a downward facing dog. On your next inhale, release your knees to the floor, and we're gonna come into a really nice chest opener here. So finding a tabletop position, you're gonna walk your hands out in front of you until they're about a foot or so in front of you, where your knees are still under your hips, but you're allowing your chest to melt towards the floor. This is called puppy pose or melting heart pose. You're lengthening your arms forward, really feeling active through those arms, relaxing your shoulders away from your ears as you allow your chest to come down towards the floor. Really trying to think of being heavy within that chest. And then you can stay here, or if you have blocks, you can always grab those blocks to intensify, and you can do what I'm doing here by grabbing those blocks, align those to come shoulder width distance apart, and you can put your elbows on the blocks. Hands can come to a prayer shape behind the head, and then following that same shape that we had in the melting heart, you want to think of allowing the heart to come down towards the floor, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing that chest, feeling this more intensely throughout that upper back. Really trying to make sure you're relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Focusing on those exhales, remember to release. Really melting into this posture. Just tuning into that breath. To gently release that. If you had your blocks, you can just move those to the side. If you didn't, really relax down into a nice child's pose position. Releasing that from the shoulders. Resetting. On your next inhalation, you can find a downward facing dog. Gently walking towards the top of the mat here, taking your time, coming into a nice passive forward fold. As you inhale, lengthen your spine, lifting halfway. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. And on your next inhale, lengthen those arms and reach standing tall, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Connecting with the ground, connecting with your breath. Inhale, lengthening arms forward, interlacing the fingers. Palms are going to face away from the body. Arms are going to reach up and above head, and as you inhale, and then as you exhale, arching over to the right, coming into a nice side body bend. Really planting firmly down through the feet, being strong through the legs, supporting that upper body here. Really nice strong core. Relaxing that left shoulder away from the ear. Inhale, come back forward, gently releasing your arms all the way down, and you can release that bind, coming into the same one, but just flipping that opposite pinky on top. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. As you exhale, arching over towards the left side, feeling that sensation on the right. Again, really firmly planting, grounding down. Strong legs, strong core. Feeling that support from that lower body so you can feel that stretch within the side. Feeling the strength of your obliques as well. Inhaling, come back through center. And as you exhale, folding forward over your legs. Inhale, find length, lift halfway. And as you exhale, stepping back to a plank, option to move through a chaturanga, moving through a flow. Inhale, come through your back bend. And as you exhale, find your downward facing dog. From down dog, on your next inhale, lengthen that right leg towards the sky. Coming into a three-legged dog. Hips are nice and square, but as you exhale, bend into that knee, open that hip up. Take a few really nice hip circles here, big or small. Just check in, making sure you're still grounding down through those hands. Shoulders are square to the mat, only opening up through the hips. On your next exhalation, step that right foot through to the top of the mat for a low lunge. Pressing down through that right foot, engaging that right leg, thinking of drawing that right foot towards that left knee, and behind you're going to interlace your fingers back behind you, opening up through the chest, making sure your tailbone is tucked, not releasing into a back bend throughout the lower spine, only opening up through the chest here. Breathing in this lunge, opening up, maybe shifting your gaze to the sky. On your next inhale, releasing that, opening up into a twist here. So your left arm is going to reach forward, right arm is going to reach back. Option to stay here, or you can gently release your right hand. Maybe it finds your left leg. This comes into a nice back bend. You're definitely coming into a deeper bend into that left hip as well. So just feeling the sensation here wherever you are. As as you inhale, releasing back behind you, planting your hands down to frame your right foot. And we'll arch back, coming into a half split here. So left hip will be stacked over your knee. Right leg is going to lengthen towards straight as best you can. Always feel free to bring props above your hands for support. Working on flexing those toes towards you, straightening out that right leg. On your next inhale, shifting that right foot forward to flat. Right hand will come to right thigh, and right hand will reach to the sky, coming into a twist. Option here to stay, or you can activate through that left leg by reaching that right hand back behind you and bending in through that left knee. Maybe your hand can grab that left foot and you can take a quad stretch here, breathing into that stretch. Or if you can't quite reach, you can always grab a towel or just feel that activation through that left hamstring. On your next breath, you can gently release that, coming back in through a downward facing dog, moving through a flow here. Meeting back in a downward facing dog wherever you are. Coming onto the left side, as you inhale, left foot reaches high, coming into that three-legged position with the knee opening up, coming into that hip opener. Taking those hip circles, small or big, whatever your hip is feeling today. And then on your next exhalation, left foot steps forward, low lunge. Really feeling nice and strong throughout that lower body, supporting the upper body for that chest opener here. Bring your hands back behind you, interlacing your fingers, and feel that stretch, trying to draw your hands away from the body. Maybe shifting your gaze up towards the ceiling, feeling a bit of a back bend here. Whatever is comfortable for you. Focusing on your breath. Trying to release and settle into the posture. Gently releasing from there and opening up your arms. So right arm's going to reach forward, left arm reaches back, staying there, or your left hand can come to right leg. Gently releasing into a gentle back bend. Feeling those sensations there. Inhale, square those shoulders forward, planting the palms down and shifting back. Right hip stacks over the knee, coming into a half split. Working on lengthening out that left hamstring, flexing those left toes towards your face. Keeping the spine nice and tall as you're breathing there. Next inhalation, rocking back forward into your low lunge. Right hand stays down as your left hand reaches up, coming into a twist. Option here to stay there, or taking that activation within the right leg, bending into that right knee, and maybe finding the grip of your foot with the right hand coming into the quad stretch, or just breathing there, feeling that activation wherever you are. On your next exhale, gently releasing that, framing your foot with your hands and releasing back into a down dog. Option here to move further through a flow, inhaling into your chaturanga as you exhale, releasing down. Inhale through your back bend, and as you exhale, lifting your hips high, downward facing dog. Breathing there, resetting, connecting back with your breath. On your next inhale, reach and lengthen your right leg high, bending in through that knee, opening up through that hip once again. Taking those hip circles here, allowing that to feel nice and open, really getting the kinks out. And as you exhale, stepping that right foot forward and through and finding a warrior one. So right foot is firmly planted, left foot is down at a 45-degree angle, checking in that your hips are nice and square to the front of the mat. Drawing your hands back behind you, interlacing your fingers. As you exhale, diving the upper body forward, coming into a humble warrior one. So the upper body is going to work on coming to the inside of the right leg. You still want to check in your hips are going to be square. Really pressing through, sharing the weight evenly between your feet. Supporting that upper body with your core, being really strong and tall through that spine. Releasing the hands to the floor, and we're going to walk our hands towards the back of the mat, shifting our toes, coming into Skandasana, really nice side lunge. So left toes are going to face at a 45-degree angle, that back corner of your mat. Right toes are going to lift, but the right heel will be on the floor. Really nice and strong through that right leg, deep bend through that left leg, and you can open up the arms here, or you can gently keep them down on the floor for balance. Option here also to bring that right arm up and behind the back, coming into a bind, half bind here. Whatever is working for you in your Skandasana shape. On your next exhalation, gently releasing that, and we're going to shift into a warrior two with cow face arms. Right arm is going to reach up back behind you, trying to reach between your shoulder blades here. Left hand can come to your right elbow to kind of guide that there. If that's enough, you can stay there, or you can reach your left arm back behind you, trying to work on interlacing your fingers. You can always use a towel or a strap here to use as a prop to reach your hands a bit closer together. Whatever works best. You want to think of pressing your head into that right arm, not allowing the head to bend down whatsoever. Releasing warrior two and finding triangle pose here. Right leg is really nice and strong, pressing down, that right foot is pressing down and through the floor. Option here to go for a half bind by reaching that left arm back behind you, reaching for the right thigh. Gently release as you exhale. Option here to move through a chaturanga. Inhaling up through your back bend, and then exhaling to lift your hips high into a downward facing dog. Coming onto the left side, inhale, left leg lifts, bending in through the knee. Option to do some hip circles again here if you need. Always feeling free to stay strong and stable. Opening up, finding that stillness and stepping that left foot forward, finding your warrior one. Setting up for humble warrior here, so just making sure that you're pressing down through that left foot, supporting the upper body. Arms are going to reach back behind you, interlacing your fingers, and as you exhale, coming into your humble warrior one. Upper body comes towards the inside of the left thigh. And releasing the upper body as you're still finding that length through the spine. Feeling this in through the hips, in through the chest. And gently releasing your hands down through the floor, shifting that body into Skandasana shape, that side lunge. So that deep bend into the right leg this time. Left leg is nice and straight, left toes face the ceiling. Opening up with the arms. Breathing here, staying there if you would like, or option to do a half bind once again, reaching that left arm back behind you for the right thigh. Pressing firmly down through that right foot, being really nice and active through both of your legs in both shapes. And then you can gently release Skandasana, finding warrior two, coming into cow face arms by reaching your left arm this time up back behind you. Right hand can help guide that left elbow to reach towards the midline of the body. Option to come into the full cow face arms where your right arm reaches back, trying to bind your fingers together. Just making sure that you're still really nice and tall through that upper body. Shoulders are stacked over your hips, not allowing the spine to collapse at all through that neck. Really breathing into the chest and to the deltoid. Gently releasing here, finding triangle pose by straightening out that left leg. Inhale to lengthen that upper body up, out, and over that left leg. And then bring the left hand to a block, to the floor, to the left foot, and binding back that right arm behind you if that is available. From there, releasing your triangle pose, windmilling your arms down to the floor, always feeling an option to move through a chaturanga here as you exhale. You can use your inhale to come up through your back bend, and then exhale to lift your hips high into a downward facing dog. On your next inhale, just taking your time and walking your way to the top of the mat, finding length through your spine, lift halfway. As you exhale, fold forward, and inhale to reach your arms high, finding mountain pose. Coming into eagle pose now, balance, shifting your weight into your right foot. As you inhale, reaching your left leg up, and then as you exhale, you're going to cross that left leg over your right leg as you work on trying to bring that foot behind your right ankle. In the arms, left arm is gonna wrap around the right, trying to work on bringing the palms towards one another. If that's not quite working in your arms, you can always work on just giving yourself a nice hug by reaching hands to opposite shoulders. And we're going to gently release that and transition into dancer's pose by kicking into that left foot, bending in through that left leg, working on catching the left foot with your left hand. Right arm is going to reach the sky. Slight bend into that right foot as you find your balance and shift your body weight, arching back, coming into this nice back bend. Really finding the nice chest opener here by making sure that your shoulders are nice and square to the front of the room as you work on kicking that left foot into your left hand. Nice and slowly releasing your dancer's pose, regrounding here with both feet on the floor, trying to be still, reconnecting, getting ready for the left side. Finding eagle pose on the left side, shifting weight into left foot, wrapping right arm underneath the left, trying to bind those palms together. Bending in through that right leg and reaching it up and over, trying to bind that right foot back behind that left ankle. Working on stacking shoulders over the hips, keeping that focus, finding that drishti, that point of focus to concentrate on for your balance, for your mind. Releasing back into dancer's pose now by releasing that right leg, uncrossing it and bending in through that knee. Right hand will find right foot, and you want to think of nice and slowly kicking that right foot into your right hand as you arch that right leg back behind you, trying to keep that upper body nice and lifted. Shoulders are square to the front of the room, feeling that nice back bend, feeling that within the right shoulder, the right chest. And gently releasing that pose down. Trying again not to fidget, just relax, staying still, being mindful of being aware of what your body is feeling, what you're noticing. As you inhale, reaching your arms high, and as you exhale, we're going to fold forward over your legs. Inhale, find length through your spine, and as you exhale, stepping back, moving through a plank and coming through your chaturanga. And we're going to come all the way down onto our belly. So landing there onto your belly, coming into a really nice chest stretch here. So I'll show you on the left side first, just so you can take a peek maybe before you go into it fully. You're gonna Lengthen your left arm out, straight out from your shoulder, and your right arm is going to come right underneath your right shoulder. What we're going to do is press into our right hand, shifting our weight, so we're working on stacking our shoulders on top of one another, and we're laying on the left side of our body. Bending in through that right leg, you can always bring that right foot back behind the left, starting to intensify the chest opener even more by coming into a deeper twist within the spine. And you can always keep that right hand firmly planted on the floor and keeping it pressed so you're helping that shoulder stack, or you can always work on reaching that right hand back behind you, trying to work on reaching that right hand towards the left, or just wherever it does land. You can always bend in through both knees as well, planting both feet onto the floor, coming into a deeper twist, a deeper chest opener, doing whatever feels best for your body. Releasing from there really nice and slowly, taking your time to come out of that. And we'll come onto the other side. So lengthening your right arm straight out from your right shoulder, left hand will come under left shoulder, pressing into that left hand and coming on to lay onto the right side body here. Finding that chest opener, that first variation. Option 1 is to bend in through that top leg and bring it back behind the straight leg. Option 2 is to keep that hand pressed or work on reaching it back behind you, reaching for the right hand. And then option 3 is to bend both of your knees so both feet are planted onto the floor. You're coming into a deeper twist, so really making sure you're being conscious of your spine. And just relaxing your head down. Finding that active passiveness that we can have within all poses of yoga. Trying to relax as we support the body properly. And from there you can really nice and slowly start to straighten out your legs, releasing that, coming back down onto your belly. Just resetting here. Maybe your arms can come back beside you. And then option to stay there, or you can reach your hips high and come into a child's pose. Again, option, you can bring your hands back down towards your feet, just becoming a little ball. Relaxing that upper body forward, letting the shoulders round forward. And then on your next inhale, you'll just come up into a tabletop and just make your way gently onto your seat. We'll come into a seated forward fold just to reset here. So spine is tall, shoulders are over the hips. As you inhale, lengthening your arms high. And then as you exhale, just start to fold forward, trying to lengthen your arms towards your feet, allowing those hands to land wherever they are in your legs. Maybe that is your feet, maybe it's your shins, your knees, your quads. Just try to focus on keeping your spine nice and tall as you work on folding deeper. As you inhale, think of lengthening, engaging that core, expanding. And then as you exhale, releasing, finding more space to fold. As you inhale, lengthen, come back up into a full seat, and we'll come into another fold here, butterfly stretch. So you'll bend in through your knees, the soles of the feet will come towards one another, making sure you're just holding onto your feet separately here, and your knees are opening up, allowing those to be heavy, just trying to open up through the hips, starting to fold forward with your breath. Option to bring just breathing there. And on your next inhale, come back up to a really nice tall spine, and we'll slowly close off the practice. Make your way onto your back, taking your time here, drawing your knees in towards your chest and giving yourself a really nice good squeeze, a good hug. You're gently rocking from side to side. Now draw those knees in even further, lifting your shoulders up, trying to become the tiniest ball you can ever possibly be, squeezing everything in as much as you can. And then you can really nice and slowly release and relax into your final pose, Shavasana. Here, just trying to let everything relax, every limb, every bone, every muscle, every organ, every material being of you. Try to let that release and relax into the floor. Donating this time to yourself, body and mind. And for the poses that we did do within the practice, you are able to do those for as long as you want. So if this was a bit of a shorter practice today, so if you wanted to go back to any of those stretches, feel free to rewatch the video. Settle in, staying in the poses anywhere from 1 to even 5 minutes if that's okay with you. And staying here in Shavasana for as long as you want. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.